Namaste to everybody. On behalf of Center for Education Social Studies, Bengaluru, and Shisharpuram College, Postgraduate Department of Commerce, in continuation with the research symposium that was organized on 29th of this month, we have organized this post-research symposium on the topic Demystifying Research Impact, Metrics, and Visibility Tools. At the outset, I would like to welcome everybody for the session, and I would like to welcome our resource person for today's session, Dr. Rupesh Kumar A. So welcome to you, sir. And I welcome to all the participants. At the outset, I would like to take this privilege to introduce a resource person for today's session, Dr. Rupesh Kumar A. Sir is an assistant professor in the Department of Studies and Research in Library and Information Science at Tumkur University. He holds master's and PhD degree in Library and Information Science. Sir secured first rank in his master degree with 2 gold medals in 2004. In the same year, Sir was qualified with UGC NET with Junior Research Fellowship. He served as a full-time guest faculty at Bangalore University for 2004 to 2007. And later on, Sir joined On Mobile Global Limited as a content management executive and obtained expertise in delivering mobile value-added services. In 2008, Sir joined Government First Grade College, Karnataka, as a librarian. He was appointed as an assistant professor at Tumkur University in May 2010. Since then, Sir has been serving at the university, not only in the academic capacity, but also in several administrative capacities. Presently, Sir is serving as a nodal officer, University e-Governance Cell, and MOOCs coordinator. Sir is also a master trainer of NEP 2020 for affiliated colleges of Tumkur University. Sir, to his credit, has authored a lot of books and edited a few conference proceedings and published and presented various papers in national and international journals and conferences. Some of his papers have received the Best Paper Award at conference. He has delivered more than 100 invited lectures as resource persons at several UGC, HRDC, national and international seminars and symposiums. Sir holds a lot of interest in scholarly writing, research and publication ethics, reference management, and AI tools for scholarly writing. On behalf of CES and Shisharpuram College, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
And I would also welcome all the participants for joining the session. So now the floor is open to you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaste and a very good evening to all of you who have logged into this post-symposium research workshop. It's I must say, it's a great idea to hold research workshops concentrating on the budding researchers to have clarity of understanding and to enhance their knowledge on various aspects and various dimensions of research. So it's a great opportunity for me to share whatever I have learned in the process of, I'm learning in the process of my research and publishing career. So with that intention, I have been asked to share some thoughts on research impact metrics and visibility tools. Two important considerations for any researcher, irrespective of the discipline, are research impact and research visibility. Therefore, as researchers, let us delve into these aspects and try to understand how to enhance the research impact and research visibility. This session is not only to appraise you on research impact and visibility, but also to show you what are the different platforms we have at our disposal to enhance research visibility. Let's get started with the presentation. My session will be a combination of presentation as well as demonstration. I will be switching between my presentation and demonstration as needed throughout my session. So first, let me run my presentation and share it on the screen. Please confirm if it's visible to you.
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So we all, as researchers, understand that measurement is part of life. We start measuring the moment we are born, and measurement never stops until death. So measurement enables comparative evaluation. Measurement enables quantification. And through quantification and comparative evaluation, it is possible to ascertain what is better and what is not. Even in the context of research, quantification leads to comparative evaluation, which in turn leads to ascertaining what is better and what is not. Therefore, over the years, researchers across disciplines have tried to quantify research, have tried to evaluate the effect of a researcher's research. Of course, I'm talking about published research. I do not speak about research that goes unnoticed, that goes unpublished. So throughout my publication, whatever I talk about is, throughout my presentation, whatever I talk about will be on published research. Therefore, my first earnest request to all of you is publish your research. Okay, fine. So with that hope, let's get started with understanding research impact metrics and visibility and the tools for establishing and enhancing visibility. Firstly, I would like to draw your attention to two important aspects which may be considered two faces of the same coin. One is research productivity and the other is research impact. These two are two important dimensions of research and publishing. So you can say publication productivity and publication impact, because I will talk only about published research. You can also in general say research productivity and research impact. So I'm saying these two are two faces of the same coin. They go hand in hand, but to what extent they go hand in hand depends on the researcher themselves and several other factors. So we'll try to understand what they are. I'll try to put them in the simplest possible terms. Productivity in terms of research is measured by the number of publications made by an author. For instance, Rupesh is an author. Rupesh is a researcher who publishes, who writes and publishes the research findings in the form of publications. So I specifically keep in mind the scholarly publications, keeping aside popular publications such as newspaper articles published in newspapers and magazines. I am not considering them. I am considering only scholarly publications such as articles published in journals, books, entire books published, monographs published, or chapters contributed to edited volumes, papers published in conference proceedings, etc. So I'm considering only scholarly publications, keeping aside popular writings. So productivity is purely a quantitative phenomenon. That means if you take any two authors, author X and author Y, and if you count the number of publications made by author X and the number of publications made by author Y, it's easy to compare and answer a question, who is more productive? In other words, whoever has made a more number of publications is considered more productive. Therefore, productivity refers to the capacity of a person, of an author, of a researcher to publish. measured by the number of publications already made by them. So based on the current number of publications, you measure the productivity. So count is the unit of measure of the productivity. So now we understand that productivity is purely a quantitative phenomenon. On the other hand, if you take research impact is measured in terms of the number of citations received by an author for their publications from other authors. The number of citations received by an author from other sources, not his or her own source, other sources. So why do people cite a particular author? It is very evident that if I, as a researcher, read many other articles published by other authors, I find some contents useful for my research. I borrow them, I use them in my writing, in my publication, in order to say thanks to the other people who have helped me in consolidating the ideas, consolidating the content. I will cite their publication. So, citation given to another person, another author, indicates the usefulness or the utility of someone else's publication to me. Therefore, citation is a quality indicator. Citation is a quality indicator. It indicates the quality of research and publication carried out by a particular person. Therefore, because the quality is higher, quality is better, more and more number of other researchers are making use of the contents of those publications and citing the author. So citation is a quality indicator. It's a qualitative phenomenon. However, for quantification, for comparative evaluation, it is necessary to quantify it. Therefore, the impact of research of a particular person, of a particular author, is measured in terms of number of citations received by the author. Now, somebody has to keep track of the number of citations received. We will talk about it in a while. First, we need to understand what exactly is meant by receiving a citation. Just now I explained orally, but I would like to illustrate it with an example. What is meant by receiving a citation and what is meant by giving or attributing a citation? Let's try to understand this through an example. Before I do that, let me outline whatever I discussed. Productivity is measured in terms of publication counts. Impact is measured in terms of citation counts. Productivity is quantitative, impact is qualitative, but expressed in quantitative terms. Productivity is always related to an author's ability. In other words, I mean, author X is more productive, author Y may be less productive. Why is it so? It is purely because of the author's efforts or otherwise. If an author puts conscious efforts, an author can produce more number of publications. Or it could be the other way. If the author does not put sufficient efforts, then the number of publications may remain low. So, productivity is always dependent on the author's ability, author's efforts. On the other hand, impact is the author's influence on others through the publications. So, it is the author himself or herself who can increase the productivity. But it is not the author who can increase the impact. It is the others who have to attribute citations, who have to give citations in order to enhance the author's impact. So, my dear friends, I want to make a very important point here. It is easier to increase the productivity of your research than it is to increase the impact of your research. There are many other points to be considered while increasing the impact. So it is more difficult to become impactful author. It is easier to become a productive author. Okay, so you can keep on writing, you can keep on publishing, but the impact of your publications will be decided by others. Of course, when do they want to give? When do they will be willing to give? When will they be willing to give the impact? When the publications you have made are useful to them. So there are certain conditions, there are certain considerations in improving one's impact. And then productivity is important, of course. If I ask you all, who wants to make more number of publications, there won't be anyone who will say no. But impact is also super important. It's as important, rather more important than productivity. You may have lesser number of publications, but you may get higher number of citations. Okay, productivity, as and when the author publishes more and more number of papers, increments. But increase is not guaranteed for impact. Even though the author is publishing more number of papers, more number of articles, the impact is not guaranteed. That means it is not guaranteed. It's not sure that the author will get citation for each of the publications. And there's only one metric to measure the productivity, that is the number of publications. Whereas to measure the impact of research, there are multiple metrics. We'll get to know in a while. So let's start by understanding the very basis of measurement. Okay, I will just place it at the bottom. Okay, so the very basis of measurement of research impact is the number of citations received by an author. Here is the Google Scholar profile of my guide, my mentor from the same department where I work, Dr. B.T. Kumar, who has got more than 1,500 citations for his publications. Of course, it is not spontaneous. It is the hard work of about 1.5 decades, about 15 years or 20 years now. So if you look at the number of citations, you will be getting a fair idea on what could be the impact. And then if you look at the number of citations of another person, for example, if you look at my citations, number of citations I have earned is very less, almost 1/10 of whatever he has earned so far. So he has over a period of 2 decades, he has written and he has published more number of articles, and he has published on more impactful topics, and the articles have been cited more. From this list, let me take up only one article. Okay? Perception and usage of e-resources, electronic resources, and the internet by Indian academics. This is an article authored by 2 people, B.T. Kumar and G.T. Kumar. This article today has earned 173 citations according to Google Scholar. It was published in 2010. It's been 14 years or 15 years. So it is published in a journal called The Electronic Library. Now, let us see how citation turns into impact. So I take up this article, okay, perception and one second, let me just hide these. Yeah. Perception and Usage of E-Resources and the Internet by Indian Academics. Now, I will introduce another article published subsequently. Utilization of library information resources among Generation Z students, facts and fiction. So if you look at these two articles, the first article is published in 2010. The second article is published by these three authors in 2018. There's an 8-year gap, but look at the titles and you can derive some commonality between these two articles. Both the articles are focused on the usage of resources, usage of information resources. So these three authors, Salubi, Ondari, Okengba, and then Nekweva, have introduced one particular part. I have taken the extract of one paragraph. I'll point you to that particular paragraph, that particular line. Here they say, please look at the underlined line, thereby saving them time and traveling costs and new choices for answering reference queries. And in square brackets, you see number 17. Okay. So what is number 17? If I go through the references found at the end of this 2018 article, I see a reference to the earlier article authored by Sampath Kumar and G.T. Kumar. So what these three authors have done is they have made use of some content from Sampath Kumar, G.T. Kumar's article, and they have given a citation in the text and a corresponding reference at the end of their article. So what happens in this case? The article authored by Sampath Kumar and G.T. Kumar is called the cited article, which gets the citation. And the article which contains the citation is called the citing article. Okay. In this case, B.T. Sampath Kumar and G.T. Kumar each have earned one citation. And who has dedicated this citation to them? These three authors in their article. So in this way, based on the commonality of the subject or the topic or the area of research, some authors take the help of the publications already made by other authors, and cite them at appropriate locations in their publications. So when this is done, citation impact is created. And it is the ethical responsibility of these three authors, to cite each and every source from which they have borrowed some idea or content. So you can see 17 here, and there's one more 18. All these are citations, and corresponding reference will be found at the end of the article. Okay. So what happens on the World Wide Web when citations are given, citations are received? It is kept track of by certain services. I will name those services later. What happens in citation indexing is an algorithm or a computer program goes inside the article, goes to the reference section. To each entry found in the reference section, one citation will be counted by the citation indexing service. In this case, in the example I have taken, each author receives one citation. That means Sampath Kumar gets one citation. For example, hitherto, up to this point, Sampath Kumar had 99 citations to his credit. when this article is also considered +1, that means 100 citations it will become. Kumar had 24 citations before this article was published. After this article by these three authors was published, and after some time when it was indexed, then Kumar, the number of citations of Kumar became 25. So 99 becomes 100 for Sampath Kumar and 24 becomes 25 to GT Kumar. So each author gets one citation. And the article, number of citations received by the article also gets increased by 1. Similarly, the number of citations received by the journal, in this case, the name of the journal is Electronic Library. This journal also gets 1 citation. That means the citation indexing service will keep track of the number of citations received by authors, received by articles, and received by journals. Okay, so accordingly, we have 3 types of metrics. Okay, and this article, this 2010 article authored by Sampath Kumar and GT Kumar, will gradually accumulate citations over time. That means 2010 was the year of publication of this article by these 2 authors, and gradually it has gathered, like magnet, it has gathered 173 citations according to Google Scholar. So there is a cumulative impact of citations. Okay, so have a look at the different other articles which have cited the original article published by Sampath Kumar and GT Kumar. So over a period of time, there will be cumulative citation impact. Okay, so citation, what we understand by this is citation is a measure of research impact. So among the scholars, among researchers, the notion is higher the number of citations received by an author, higher is the impact of research. Therefore, my dear friends, we should not only aim at producing more and more number of publications, but also aim at getting higher number of citations to each of our publications. And that's not easy. We need to adopt certain strategies right from ideation level, right from generation of new ideas up to publication and even post-publication. So if an author has received higher number of citations, it means that more number of researchers and authors have found the articles of this particular author useful to them. Therefore, they have cited the author's publication. So in essence, citation is a tool to measure impact at 3 levels. At the level of authors, you can measure the impact. You can compare 2 authors from the same field or from different fields of research. Citation is also a tool to measure article level impact. Take article 1 and article 2, or either of the same author or of different authors. You can comparatively evaluate based on the number of citations. And even journals, you can compare the impact of 2 or more journals by using number of citations received as a basis. So the moral of the story is citation is super important. Citation is super important because it reflects the quality of publishing, quality of writing and publishing of an author. Right, with that, we'll get into specific research impact metrics. Metric is an indicator, a quantitative indicator of impact of research. This can be classified at different levels. I have already said this. So there are metrics, there are indices to measure the impact of research published in a journal. We call them journal level impact. And if you look at authors, you want to measure the impact of research of authors, there are author level metrics. And you want to compare articles, even article level metrics are also available. Now, my focus is only on the most widely accepted and used research impact metrics. There are, in addition to the metrics which I have included on this slide, there are tens of metrics, tens of other metrics. But I'm not going to discuss all of them because they are not widely used. But I'm going to take into account those which are widely used, widely accepted, widely regarded among the scholars, among the authors, and even by institutions. So at the journal level, we have journal impact factor published only by Clarivate Analytics, the company which provides Web of Science service. That's the only genuine journal impact factor. There are many other dubious journal impact factor services on the World Wide Web. Do not fall prey to any of them. I will show you in a later slide. I will show you some of the dubious journal impact factor services which fool the journals, which fool the authors as well. So journal impact factor is published by Clarivate Analytics through its Web of Science service. The second is CiteScore, which is published by Scopus. You may be very familiar with Scopus, the largest abstract and citation database provided by Elsevier. Then Google Scholar publishes a journal level impact metric called H5 index. And then Cymago, an NGO, I can say, a non-profit organization, based on Scopus data and several other considerations, publishes a journal rank called Cymago Journal Rank. At the author level, we have three important metrics: H index, G index, and I10 index. And at the article level, of course, the most widely used metric is citation counts, number of citations received by articles. And a new metric has emerged called altmetrics, which provides altmetric attention score, which is a new generation metric, I would say, which will consider not only scholarly research impact, but also the attention, the online attention received by the articles from various public platforms. Okay. I'll talk about altmetric attention score on some other occasion, or you may find it out from altmetric.com. My focus is on the scholarly metrics. Therefore, I confine my presentation only to journal level metrics, author level metrics, and then article level metrics, citation counts. So let's get started with the demonstration. So for some time, I'm going to exit this presentation. Then I will come back to this presentation for continuing. So first, let me open an Excel file which contains some ready data for demonstration to help you understand these research impact metrics. Yeah, is this Excel file visible to you?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Very nice. Okay, so let me illustrate how journal impact factor is calculated and then published in the form of a huge report called Journal Citation Reports, JCR. every year. This is published by Clarivate Analytics, as I said, Clarivate Analytics, and it is not publicly available. It is not freely available. It is available only on subscription. Okay. So not everybody will get access to journal impact factor. Only those who have access to Web of Science, that too particularly JCR service. JCR is a separate service, which is called Insights, INCITES. It's a part of a service called Insights provided by Clarivate Analytics. But for the sake of illustration, I have taken the real data from the JCR 2023. So what is the formula used by Web of Science for computing the journal impact, the impact factor for different journals? It is simply an arithmetic average of the number of citations received by each article published during the previous 2 years. Let's have a look at the formula. Journal impact factor for year 3. Let us consider year 3. Let us replace year 3 by 2023. I am considering 2023, not 2024, because it is still May. Okay. So let us say journal impact factor for 2023 is calculated by taking the total number of citations received by a journal during 2023 for the articles published by the journal during 2022 and 2021, divided by the number of articles published during 2021 and 2022. You can see that for the purpose of calculation, citations received during year 3, are being considered. But the publications are made during year 1 and year 2. So to replace them with the real values, citations received in 2023 will be considered for the articles published during 2021 and 2022. Let us see an example, a practical example. So I have considered 3 journals in the field of finance, in the field of economics. And I have the data with me on the total number of publications made by these 3 journals in year 1 and year 2. Consider them as 2021 and 2022. And the total number of citations earned in the year 2023. Now, we calculate the journal impact factor by dividing the number of citations earned in year 3 by the number of publications made by the journal, number of publications meaning number of articles published by this journal during 2021 and 2022. So that is the journal impact factor of Journal of Financial Economics for the year 2023. So what is the journal impact factor value for Journal of Financial Economics? Can you see the value and tell me? Is interaction possible here?
So the value is 8.90.
Yeah, that's good. That's correct. That's correct. Okay. I mean, I was just asking, can people speak here? Can others also speak? Are they allowed to unmute and speak in this session? Am I audible?
You're audible, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I was just asking whether other
Yes.
participants also can unmute themselves and then answer me. Is it possible?
So we've not given that access,
Oh,
but they can as well put in the chat box.
that's okay. That's okay. It's difficult for me to look into chat, but that's okay. That's okay. Fine. So I hope you are getting the point. So 8.90 refers to the average number of citations. So you can say citation cannot be a fraction. I can say 9. Citation can only be a whole number. Okay. So I can say it is 9. Each article published in this journal during the previous 2 years has earned 9 citations on an average. So statistically, if you submit your article to this journal and get it published, then you have the chance of earning roughly 9 citations for your article. That's the notion. That's the notion. So let's calculate the same for the other 2 journals. Yeah, have a look. So this is Journal of Finance, Journal Impact Factor, and this is the Review of Financial Studies. So if you are a researcher in the field of finance and economics, if you are given an option of these 3 journals, which journal would you pick for submitting your article for publication?
It would be the first one.
Yes, correct. It will be the first one because of the probability of my article getting higher citations based on the simple arithmetic average. This is why your research supervisor or your academic peer or some professor keeps telling you, publish your article in high impact factor journals. High impact factor journal. That's simply because if you publish your article in high impact factor journals, you too have the probability of getting higher citations for your article. As simple as that. So I hope you have understood journal impact factor calculation. This is calculated for thousands of journals and published in a consolidated report every year during the month of June or July, you can say. So we are expecting journal citation reports 2024 in a month and a half now, in about a month and a half. So by July first week, generally, journal citation reports are published. Okay. One last point I want to make. Here we have the name publications. We have the word publications. What type of publications are considered by Web of Science for calculating the journal impact factor? So the types of publications considered are only 2: articles and reviews. Only 2 types of publications are considered by Web of Science for calculating journal impact factor. Fine. Now let's go to another journal level metric called site score, provided by Scopus, which is a product of Elsevier. The Scopus calculates site score a little differently. Of course, the method of calculation is the same, but there are 2 important differences. Number 1, the calculation period is a 4-year publication window, not a 2-year publication window like Web of Science Journal Impact Factor. That means Scopus will consider previous 4 years, including the current year, publication. That means if I am in 2023, if I am in the year 2023, starting from 2023 goes back 4 years. Okay. 2023 site scores are not yet published. Generally, Scopus will publish site score of a year during the last week of June, during June, you can say, during June. So in a month, we can expect site score 2023. But until then, we need to rely on site score 2022. So how is it calculated? The number of publications made by a journal in the 4-year publication window, including the year of calculation. Including the year of calculation. That means 2022, 2021, 2020, and 2019. Total number of publications will be taken. Total number of publications will be taken. And total number of citations earned by these articles during the same period. Same period means 2022, 2021, 2020, and 2019. 4 years. So to give you an example, here is Academy of Management Annals, a very reputed journal in the field of management. It has published 93 publications. It has made 93 publications in various issues during the previous 4 years. And the total number of citations earned by these 93 articles, 93 publications is 2,842. So we'll calculate site score for the year 2022 by dividing the total number of citations by the total number of articles. So we get 30.6. This is a 4-year average. Let's do the same for the other 2 journals in management. We have got Leadership Quarterly, which has made 163 publications and earned 2,706 citations, 16.6. And the International Journal of HRM is 10. Now here also, it helps an author to make a decision on the submission. So if you are given an option, if you are a researcher in management, commerce, and allied subjects, and you want to submit an article to a journal, then you would more likely consider Academy of Management Annals because its site score is 30.6. You would prefer this over the other 2, 16.6 and 10. So this is how site score is calculated. As far as the types of publication considered, Scopus has a wider consideration. It considers articles, reviews, conference papers, book chapters, and even data papers. So that's the way site score is calculated and published every year during the month of June. This is openly available. Site score data is openly available. Scopus is very generous when it comes to giving out the data. It gives out almost 90% of its data for free. Only 10% of data is available on subscription. Okay. So this is Scopus site score. Okay. And we have got Scimago journal rank, which follows its own mechanism to calculate the calculate SJR score, Scimago journal rank score, and publish it on scimagojr.com. I will show you live the ranking of journals in various subjects. So that can also be helpful in deciding good journals for submitting your article. Now let's come to H5 index also I will show you in Google Scholar Live. H5 index is the H index of a journal for the articles published by it in the previous 5 years. The number 5 stands for previous 5 years. H stands for the H index. Although H index is an author level metric, it is used only for authors. Google Scholar has modified it and it has started using it for journals, calling it H5 index, taking the data of previous 5 years. Okay, now let's move on to H index. H index is an author level metric. Okay, it was developed by a physicist by name George E. Hirsch in the year 2005 to evaluate the performance of scientists in the field of physics. Later, it was accepted and followed by all other disciplines. This metric is known as H index. Okay, H is for Hirsch index. So what is H index? H index is the maximum value of H. We'll find out H, such that the given author has published at least H papers that have been cited at least H times. So the number of papers and the number of citations should coincide in order to find out H index of an author. I have outlined the steps for finding the H index on the same sheet. I'm going to share this Excel file as well with the organizers. So how do we do this? How do we find out the H index? Before we do that, H index is a double-edged sword. It measures the productivity as well as impact of authors. It is a consistency indicator. If you follow cricket, you know the concept of batting average. Batting average indicates the consistency of a batsman in scoring runs in different matches, in a series of matches. Similarly, H index indicates the consistency with which an author is able to receive citations for each of his publications. To evaluate comparatively, I have considered the data of two authors. Okay, so I have here with me citations received by author A and citations received by author B for their publications. Okay, let us count the number of publications. Article 1 has earned 5 citations. Article 2, 3 citations. Article 3, 8. Article 4, 20. Article 5, 6. Article 6, 12. Article 7, 4. It means that author A has published how many papers? 7 papers. 7 papers. Author B also has published 7 papers, as you can see. So, who is more productive? Author A or author B? My question is, who is more productive? Author A or author B?
It is same, sir,
Yes.
when it comes to number of papers.
Yes, absolutely. That means productivity is measured in terms of the number of publications made, number of articles published. So both are equally productive when it comes to productivity. Fine. Now let us find out the total number of citations received by these two authors for all their publications. So I'm going to sum the citations. Author A, for 7 articles published by him, has received 58 citations. Okay. Let's see the same for author B. Author B has received 128 citations. So if you base your evaluation of authors on total number of citations, then you can easily say that author B is more impactful if you stop your evaluation at this stage itself. Let us see the average citations per publication. ACP, average citations per publication. That is simply by dividing the total number of citations by the number of articles. I have rounded it off to 8. So to each article published by author A, 8 citations have been received. That of author B, 18 citations. In this case as well, author B is more impactful. Now let us find out H index. In other words, now let us find out who is more consistent in receiving higher number of citations to each of the articles. Okay, now I come to the steps for finding H index. Of course, this is only for your understanding how H index is computed. You will readily get the H index value in different services. Okay, but you need to know as a researcher how H index is computed. To find out H index of an author, first arrange the publications in the descending order of citation. So let us do it. I will take up author A. So I will select the citations and I will select the citations. I'll go to sort. I will sort it in ZA, that is descending order. Now, the articles, these publications are sorted in the descending order of citations. That means higher to lower. So, let us assign rank to each article, each publication. You know, this is like ranking the students based on their scores. Whoever has scored the highest will get the first rank. So, this article with 20 citation will get the first rank. Article with 12 citation will get the second rank and so on to 7. Okay. Now we have assigned the rank to each publication. Now compare the citation, consider both of them, article rank as well as citations, as pure numbers. Pure number, although rank is qualitative, consider them for the purpose of comparison, consider them as pure numbers. Compare the citations with rank. If the citations are higher than, greater than the rank, move to the next row and continue the comparison until you find a row where the number of citations and the rank coincide. Okay, let's find out. Is 20 greater than 1? Please answer me. Is 20 greater
Yes.
than 1? Yes. If your
Yes,
answer is yes, go to the next row and continue the comparison. Is 12 greater than 2?
Yes, sir.
Is 8 greater than 3?
Yes, sir.
Is 6 greater than 4?
Yes, sir.
Is 5 greater than 5?
Equal.
Equal. Yeah.
Equal.
So we're getting equal number here. Now mark that article rank, not the citation. Mark that article rank, and that is the H index of this particular author. So the H index of author A is 5. This simply means that out of n number of articles published by an author, here n is 7, total number of articles. Out of n number of articles published by an author, H articles, here H is 5. 5 articles each have minimum of 5 citations. Let us check. The fifth ranked article has 5 citations, satisfied. Fourth article has 6 citations, which is more than 5. Third article, 8 citations. Second article, 12 citations. First article, 20 citations. That means all these articles have H is 5, H or more citations. So the H index of author A is 5. Now let us do the same for author B. Let us find out the H index of author B. So I'm going to first sort the citations of the author B in the descending order. Yeah, I've sorted, and I'm going to assign rank to author B's articles. Okay. Now, can you tell me the H index of author B?
It's going to be 3, sir.
Is it 3 or 4?
That's 4.
4. Okay. 100 is greater than 1.
Yeah.
10 is greater than 2. 6 is greater than 3. 4 is equal to 4. Therefore, I'm going to mark the article rank here So the H index of author B is 4. Now, the question is, who is more consistent in receiving citations? Author A, based on H index, author A is more consistent. Author A is more consistent. Of course, it is time bound. In this time bound in the sense, the number of citations, for example, in case the author author A receives, in turn, let me ask you the question. When will the H index of author A become 6? When will the H index of author A become 6? Possibilities.
Then the citation ranking received by author A is going to be more beyond 6.
No, I mean, okay. Now, going by this data, I'm asking,
Yes.
okay, when will the H index of author A become 6? Try. Okay, let me explain. Now, the rank 5 article gets one more citation. What happens to the number of citations?
6.
6.
Yes, sir.
6. Okay. And then rank 6 article gets 2 more
6.
citations.
2 more citations. Okay.
2 more citations. Okay. Or rank 7 article gets 3 more citations.
3 more citations. Yeah.
It will be floating up and it will occupy the 6th position. 6 is equal to 6, then it will become 6.
Yes.
Okay. So if the number of, my dear friends, I'm going to make a very important point now. If author A does not publish any more articles, the number of articles of author A remains 7, what is the maximum H index value he can have?
Will it remain at 5, sir?
No. What is the maximum H index value he can have? Okay, let me just check the chat box if anyone has answered. How do I do that? I need to get the controls, right?
There's an answer which says 6, 7. There are
Yes.
multiple answers
Whoever,
provided in the
yes,
chat
yes,
box.
yes. Very good, very good. Whoever has answered 7 is right. Okay. That means author A right now has 7 publications and his H index cannot be greater than 7. Can never be greater than 7. For example, if the first ranked article gets 1000 citations, okay, total number of citations will increase. Average citation per publication will increase, but has H index increased? No. Okay. So it cannot be more than 7. Whoever has answered 7 is right. It cannot be more than 7. So when can it become more than 7? Please tell me. Please answer this question. I'll wait in the chat box. I'll see the chat box. When can H index of author A become more than 7? Let's say 8. When can it become 8? Condition. What are the conditions? When the article
Increases.
correct. No, not the article rank. Correct. Paramesha is right. He is right. Number of publications should increase. In addition to increase in the number of citations for each of the articles. So this is why, my friends, I said H index is a double-edged sword. That means it is not only a measure of impact, but also a measure of productivity. That means in order to enhance H index, in order to increase one's H index, an author has to focus on productivity as well as impact. I hope you're getting my point. Okay, fine. Now let's move on to another author level metric. Before I move on to another author level metric called G index, let me tell you one of the criticisms against H index. There are many other criticisms, but I point you to one of the important criticisms. H index cuts off the impact of the influence of highly cited publications. Let me give you an example here. What is the number of citations received by author A for his first ranked publication?
It's 100, sir.
No, I have written author A. 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, 1,000.
1,000 citations have been received by author A for the first ranked publication. This is not something small. This is not a small achievement. Okay, but H index will consider only one citation and it will neglect 999 citations. It will consider only one citation for one article, 2 citations for a second article. Now you see 999 citations are neglected, are ignored here, and here 10 citations are ignored, here 5 citations are ignored, here 2 citations are ignored, here it is not ignored. All are considered for calculation. So this was pointed out, the citation trimming, cutting off the citations in highly cited documents was pointed out by another scientist called Leo Agee, who devised in the following year. H index was devised in the year 2005, and Agee devised G index in the year 2006. So G index is the unique largest number such that top G articles received together at least G squared citations. How steps for finding G index? How to find G index? Here I have got some data of the citations received by an author for different articles. Let me quickly explain. First, we are going to assign article rank. Or in the interest of time, I have already sorted the publications in the descending order of citations. So I'm going to assign article ranks. Okay. And here you have got the article ranks. Okay. Article ranks. Article ranks. Now, please tell me, what is the H index of this author? What is the H index of this author? Please answer. I will wait for the response in the chat box. Look at the data on the screen. Please answer. What is the H index of? Oh, very nice. Yes, 12. Very good. 12. 12 is the H index of this particular author, because 12 citations at the 12th position we have got. Great. Now let us calculate G index. For calculating G index, first we will square the ranks. Okay. Article rank squared. We want to square the rank. Okay. To the power of 2. So this is the article's rank squared. And against this, we are going to consider cumulative citations. Okay, that means we will add up the citations for every article. Yeah, so I will find out the cumulative citations. Compare the cumulative citations with the square of the article rank. Compare cumulative citations with the square of the rank. Go on comparing as long as the cumulative citations remain higher than the article rank square. So let's straight away come somewhere here. Okay, let me start from here. 402 is greater than 324. 403 greater than 361. 404 greater than 400. 405 lesser than 441. So I'll go back to the previous row, and I mark that article rank as the G index. So now consider H index. You said H index is 12. And what is G index value?
20.
20. G index value is 20. 20. Generally, for those authors who have got higher number of citations at the top, that means higher number of citations than the article rank, for them, a G index value will be generally higher than H index value. So this is another research impact metric commonly used by various institutions. Okay, G index. Now, the third author level impact metric is I-10 index. Perhaps the simplest of all the research metrics is I-10 index, which is the value equal to the number of publications with at least 10 citations. So let us find out. I have already sorted this in descending order. Let us find out the last row with 10 citations. Okay, last row with 10 citations, that is 53. 53. So 53 is the I-10 index of this author. 53. This is used only by Google Scholar. Okay. That is the number of publications with 10 or more citations, with minimum 10 citations. I-10 index is 53. Okay. Can we find out H index of this author? H index. Let's scroll down. Please tell me. Somewhere in this screen, H index lies. Please tell me. Where is it? What is H index of author? What is the H index? Yeah. Can you tell me? Can somebody
26, sir.
Yeah.
26.
Very nice. Very nice. 26. 26. 26. Correct. 26 is the H index. Okay. 26 is the H index. 26 articles. Out of 100 articles, 26 articles, each have at least 26 or more citations. That means the rest of the articles have lesser than 26 citations. So we have got H index at 26, I-10 index at 53. Okay. So let's calculate G index, article rank squared, and then we have cumulative citations. First one I'll take from here. The second, I'll take the first plus this. Okay. So let's scroll down to a point. Yeah. Can you tell me what is the G index? Anywhere? I'll just scroll a little further. Yeah. Anybody? Right? G index.
3487, sir.
No. The
That is
corresponding.
59th.
Yeah.
59th.
Very nice. So G is 59. Okay. I-10 is 53.
53.
And H is
26.
you can see why G is 59. Why H is 26? That is because at the top, this author has got more highly cited articles. More than, for example, this is more than 1,170 citations. More, excess. Here, 325 excess citations. Here, 172 excess citations. Here, 134 excess citations. So, for the authors who have earned higher number of citations on the top, who have highly cited articles, generally have higher G index value than H index. So I hope you have understood author level metric. Also, here I have explained the number of citations received. You can compare. Out of all the articles published by author A, this article is more impactful in terms of number of citations. Out of all the articles published by B, this article is considered more impactful. That is article level metric. Okay. So now let me quickly come back to the presentation. Okay. So this is an example, a screenshot of journal citation reports. You can see the journal title is given and the journal impact factor is given. Of course, quartile is given. The total number of journals ranked by JCR is divided into 4 equal parts based on the journal impact factor. And the journals in each quartile, in the first quartile, the top 25% of the journals will be in the first quartile, which will generally have very high impact factor. It is very difficult to publish in Q1 journals. Similar to this is Scopus. Scopus also classifies the journals into 4 quartiles: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay, Q4 are the lowest, Q1 is the highest. Top 25. So Journal Citation Report 2023 has listed 21,522 journals from 112 countries under 254 research categories, meaning subject areas. Broadly, 13,600 science journals, 7,000 social science journals, arts and humanities, 3,200. Gold open access journals, the journals which provide articles freely downloadable from the day one of publishing are gold open access journals. 5,600 gold open access journals are available. I'll talk about open access publishing on some other occasion when I get an opportunity. Here is the Scopus sources list. As of today, it lists about 45,806 sources. You can filter on the left-hand side, you can filter it only to journals to find out only journals. And here we have got Cymago journal ranking, the screenshot of Cymago journal ranking. And Google Scholar Metrics, H5 index, you can see. The top ranked journal is Nature with an H5 index of 368. This means that out of total number of articles published by the journal Nature in the previous 5 years, 368 articles each have received a minimum of 368 citations or even higher. And we also have Cabell's journal whitelist available only on subscription. So you can get the list of journals only upon subscription from Cabell's. A little while ago, I said there are certain dubious impact factor services. I have extracted a list of various dubious impact factor services which are not genuine. Please do not follow them. They have highly inflated impact factor services. Some of them on the right, on the extreme right, you can see some of them even charge for providing journal impact factor to the journals. Even journals fall prey to many of these dubious impact factor services, and they get themselves enlisted and then they may have to pay. So don't follow all this. follow only Clarivate Analytics, Web of Science, journal citation reports. Okay, now I come to the second part. I have taken much of time for the first part. The second part is about research visibility, bringing visibility to your research, to your publications through creating various academic identity profiles. What exactly is meant by academic identity in the context of research, in the context of visibility? Firstly, academic identity defines who I am as an individual academic on the World Wide Web and who I am in the academic world. How am I perceived by my academic peers in the immediate circle, my peers worldwide? So that can be defined by your academic identity profiles. In other words, you can enhance the visibility of your research by creating academic identity profiles on various platforms. Many of them allow you to upload a copy of your publication, thereby improving the readership for your publications and citability of your publications. So the first thing is author name disambiguation. Clearly identifying yourself without having any confusion. That's called author name disambiguation. This plays a crucial role in research, in identifying a researcher without any dilemma, without any confusion. For instance, you take my name, different journals publish articles having different naming conventions. They have different naming practices, patterns of naming. Some journals have published as Rupesh Kumar. Some journals have published Rupesh Kumar A, and some others Kumar, Rupesh, and some R Kumar, some Kumar R. So all these are names of the same person. This ambiguity in naming comes when name is used as the source of identifying an author. Instead, now scholarly world is moving to identifier systems. Identifier-based identification system. Okay, now the first thing you all must do is to create your profile on Google Scholar. So the first academic identity platform I introduced to you is Google Scholar. Of course, many of you might be already having a profile on Google Scholar. Let me bring it to your notice that having a Gmail account and having Google Scholar profile are two different things. Gmail account you may have. It doesn't mean that you automatically have Google Scholar profile. Google Scholar profile is purely research based. Therefore, you need to deliberately create your profile. Okay. Yeah. So you need to sign into Google Scholar, and then you need to click on get my own profile. This is my Google Scholar profile. Right now, my index is at 5. That means out of n number of publications I have made, 5 publications have earned 5 or more citations. So here is another profile. You can search for profiles of others also. I have searched for BT Sampath Kumar's profile and I have found his profile. Okay. This is an older screenshot. His index has greatly improved now. I showed you a newer profile earlier. The second platform is Researcher ID. Okay, Researcher ID. Of course, Researcher ID is now merged with Clarivate Analytics. You can go to Clarivate Analytics to create Researcher ID. Earlier, it was an independent service. So it was on invitation basis. Invitation will be sent to your email. Email will come like this. You need to verify your email and then create your Researcher ID. So you will get a 9-character alphanumeric ID, Researcher ID. So that's why I talked about author name disambiguation. There may be thousands of Rupesh Kumars who are contributing articles, who are authors, but no other Rupesh Kumar will have the Researcher ID P4334 2016. This is author name disambiguation. You can claim the credit for your research. You can prevent others from falsely claiming credit for your research. Okay, researcher ID, I have mentioned already. The next is Publons. Okay, researcher ID, as I said, it's already now integrated with Web of Science researcher profiles. So no need to create a separate researcher ID. If you go to clarivate.com, you can create your profile. You can create your profile. Another is Publons. Fortunately, Publons is now integrated with the Web of Science researcher profile. So if you have a researcher ID account or the Clarivate account, you can also create a Publons account. Okay, so this I have explained here. You need to create a Publons account. So here you can also search for people having Publons account and their areas of research. Right, that's about Publons. The most important, my dear friends, the most important research visibility tool, academic identity profile is ORCID, Open Researcher and Contributor ID. It is a 16-digit ID for a researcher, which you can obtain freely, and you can add the details of your qualification, your publications, everything to make it more visible. Okay, so here I have explained how to register for an ORCID ID. You need to fill in a simple form and you can sign into your ORCID account. You can see my ORCID ID is this. I have got a 16-digit ORCID ID and I have defined a password. So I log into my ORCID profile and I have already filled in all the details. Whenever I publish a new article, I go to ORCID and I fill in the details of the publication. Okay. And the next is Scopus Author ID. If you have made at least one publication in any Scopus indexed journal, then you can claim your Scopus Author ID. You need to go to scopus.com. You need to register, log in using your Elsevier account, and then you can search for your account and then you will get your profile. You can claim. Okay. And for those who are working in institutions, academic institutions, there is an expert database called Vidwan. This is hosted by InflipNet. So you just have to ask your institutional system administrator to register yourself. You can also register. There's a simple registration form, but that registration has to be approved by Vidwan moderator at InflipNet. So Vidwan, you can register, log in, and you can connect all other academic profiles here. You can connect all other academic profiles in Vidwan. It will get the research impact all in one place. Okay. So here is the list of all my academic scholarly identity profiles, my ORCID ID, researcher ID, Scopus Author ID, Google Scholar profile, and my Vidwan ID. What I have done is I have made myself and my research more visible to others. Okay. So visibility can be ensured not only from the journal side, but also from the author side. Today, we have ample opportunity, good number of platforms to create accounts and then upload the publications. If not full text publications, the details of publications. And wait, there is more. We also have academic social networking sites like Mendeley, academia.edu, researchgate.net, for which you need an institutional email address. Sites here, X, archive, subject-specific archive like bioarchive, SOC archive, etc. So you can create a free account. You can upload the details of all the publications on Mendeley, on academia, on ResearchGate. All these can be done. Another interesting platform is Pen Profile for idea generation. And it's like Facebook for academics, Facebook for researchers. You can interact with researchers across the world. And there are certain preprint repositories like CiteSeerX, where you can upload your documents. Others will read and others will respond. They may even cite your publications. You can also upload working papers, even if it is in the draft stage. CiteSeer, archive.org, BioArchive for biomedical sciences, and SOC Archive for social sciences. So my final message to you is, it is not only important to publish, it is not only important to get impact for the publications, but it's also equally important to help others discover your research, to get more visibility for your research. Visibility improves citability. Now, citability leads to more citations, which in turn leads to more impact. Therefore, please do not hesitate to create as many academic profiles as possible and upload your publications or the details of your publications, and leave your scholarly digital footprint online. So with that, I am ending my presentation. Thank you very much for your patient listening. If there are any questions, comments, I'll be more than happy to listen to you and then respond. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And if at all the participants do have any questions, can you drop your questions in the chat box? We'll wait for a couple of minutes. Participants can drop your questions in the chat box.
Ma'am, they can also raise their hands if they want to know.
Yeah, there's a
If they
question
want
you
to
can
talk
see
to
in the
sir,
chat
yeah.
box. Is academia.edu recognition or citation valid or considerable? Of course, this is something to ponder upon. So, academia.edu will give you more visibility. Of course, ResearchGate, academia will give you citations as well. But right now, I myself am apprehensive about. I have my reservations about academia.edu citations getting considered for the career advancement or appointments, etc. So they are important, but I am very sure in due course these citations also will get recognition. Right now, I haven't seen any institution considering the citations earned either on academia.edu or ResearchGate. But ResearchGate is growing as a very prominent platform. Very soon, I'm very sure it will get wider recognition.
There's one more question in the chat box, sir.
Yeah.
One doubt, sometimes difficult to download papers. What to do in such cases?
Can you be more specific? Sometimes it is difficult to download papers in the sense. It depends on, if you are referring to journals, it depends on the journal's policy. If it is an open access journal, a gold open access journal, it will offer the papers immediately for free download upon publication. If it is a green open access journal, there will be something called embargo. There will be some restriction period, after the expiry of which the article will become freely available for download. If it is a subscription-based journal, non-open access journal, you can know, you can easily guess that it is subscription-based. Then you can put a request on various platforms for getting the full text article.
There's one more question to you, sir. Could you share your ideas to develop research mindset for writing research article?
Yeah, that's a very broad area. Perhaps it needs another whole session. I can add my 2 bits to this great question. this is not a question. This is a philosophy in itself. Number one is novelty. Novelty is a crucial factor. Number two is contemporary relevance. Contemporary relevance. And then come all other considerations like the writing style, the presentation, the validity of data, and the suitability of statistical tests you have used, if at all it requires any statistical test. The way inferences have been made, all these things matter. If you want to publish an article in a particular journal, the best method is to identify a target journal first. Identify a target journal. See, everything is driven, in my view, everything is driven by passion. So if you are passionate enough, everything will fall in line. So start by identifying a target journal. I'm sure you must have already selected a particular topic. So go deeper into the topic instead of going wider. Wider in the sense, instead of hopping from one topic to another, one area to another, try to go deeper, try to focus on only one or two aspects of your field. Then you'll be able to gain mastery in research, and that will in turn reflect in your writing and your publishing and in your citations.
There's one more question. What is a better one in qualitative and quantitative of statistical analysis? Sorry, which one is the better one? Whether it's qualitative or quantitative?
Now, this is like asking which one is better, left eye or right eye? No, I mean, whether it is quantitative or qualitative analysis, it is warranted by the type of study you are choosing. Okay, so it's not which is better. That means for a study which requires qualitative analysis, if you apply quantitative analysis, that may be inappropriate. Okay, so the determinant of the type of statistical analysis should be the nature of data and the kind of analysis you want to do on the data. So I have no answer to this question because it's not a question in itself. It is, I mean, I have given you an analogy. It is like asking which eye is better, right eye or left eye. Okay, so it depends on the context. It depends on the nature of data. This decides the type of analysis you do.
So there's one more question. Can you please mention which site to refer when institute or university do not have access or subscription?
Access or subscription to what? Can you please be more specific? Access or subscription to what?
Rajeshwari madam, can you please post it?
Yeah, so if you are referring to access or subscription to a particular journal,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, particular journal, then you need to go in search of institutions which have access or subscription. For instance, I don't get access to many journals. What I do is I go in search of people who have access to those journals. I send WhatsApp messages in my circle. I'm a member of several academic groups. I send a request on them and I request for full text article. This is a very common practice among researchers. There are even Facebook groups which help you in getting the full text article. So there are no sites. Of course, there may be some sites. It won't be appropriate on this platform to refer to those sites. There may be sites which provide pirated access to the literature, but I will not mention those sites. I usually post a request, and so far I have got all the requests served. Okay.
Yes, sir. These are the questions what we had. Now, before we wind up the session, I would now request Dharani ma'am, the Research Associate of CES, to brief regarding the research learning community. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Firstly, thank you very much, Rupesh sir. That was a very insightful and informative session, which was very comprehensive. Because this topic itself is like, if we go on doing it is, we can just elaborate and elaborate and elaborate. It is like that. So thank you so much. And when it comes to research learning community, I can see many of the participants in this post symposium workshop who are members of research learning community. And those who are not members, so I just want to say a few words what research learning community does. So research learning community is a platform for faculty and research scholars in specific, where we want to nurture research culture among the faculty and research scholars, and in turn, in the long run, we want to see that research culture in the higher educational institutions. So we have been conducting lots of workshops, we have been conducting courses on this, and this symposium itself is a part of the one of the initiative of research learning community itself. So when it comes to drawing a closure to this particular symposium, which was conducted on 29th, to say the idea of the symposium itself was entirely different. The way we conducted it, we had called for papers based on research ideas, and also research insights from people who have already completed their research and who want to start their research, and they have their ideas and they want to present their ideas and get more insights from the chairpersons or the resource persons who were present during the symposium. So we had conducted orientation sessions as well as how to come up with a comprehensive write-up for the symposium. And then we had two pre-symposium workshops as well. And then we had the symposium itself, where we had more than 100 participants and more than 30 papers were presented on different, on the three categories that we had categorized: the research ideas and, you know, ongoing research work and completed research as well. So this symposium, I feel it provided a platform for exchange of ideas, which was groundbreaking as usual, and also fostered the environment where thoughts can flourish and innovation can thrive. So throughout the symposium, we witnessed series of thought-provoking presentations from all the participants who presented, and there were insightful panel discussions as well on research. And also we had dynamic sessions, which were plenary sessions on research. Though it was for a one day, it was a kind of comprehensive kind of, and one more innovative thing about the research symposium was the research clinic, where we gave an opportunity to the people who are pursuing their research to come and visit the experts, research experts, and discuss about what is their ideas and how they have to go ahead. And I hope many of them here who are present in this post symposium workshop got benefited from it. That was one innovative idea of that symposium. So as we move forward, this is not the end. The symposium is not the end. So there is a lot more through the research learning community initiative that we are planning. So we want all the participants to remain engaged, and we want to continue collaborating, and we want you people to see, we want you to be a part of all the event or activities of research learning community. So our vision is not only about conducting workshops and courses. Our vision is mainly about nurturing that research culture mainly. So we are mainly focusing on it, and hopefully in the long run we will able to achieve it through the initiative. So my deepest thanks to all the participants, organizers, and the sponsors, especially Shishadripuram College, who have made this symposium possible. And through this post-symposium workshop, we are going to draw a curtain to the symposium, but through research learning community, again, we are going to continue further with a lot more ideas this year. So thank you all of you. Bhagya ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am, for briefing regarding the research learning community. At the outset, on behalf of SES and on behalf of Shisharipuram College, I would like to thank Rupesh sir for taking us through understanding what is productivity, what do you mean by impact, and how to calculate these indexes, and also creating the academic visibility for ourselves. That was an eye-opener for all of us to not only in order to create an identity, that is academic visibility, and creating our own profile through various online platforms what we have. So thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful session. It was very informative. It was very educative. Attend a lot of sessions. Thank you very much, sir. And I would like to thank all the participants for being a part of it. And the intention of RLC is all about creating an ecosystem for developing the culture of research. And let us do it together. And thank you very much, Rupesh sir, for your time. And thank you for answering all the questions. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you to all the participants. Good night and have a great day.
Thank you. Namaste and good night to all of you.
Good night, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.